So hey guys, let's do a little extra video, why don't we? So this is something that I've been thinking about lately, and I feel like, I don't know, I just want to talk about it. I've been talking about it with my friends a lot, online, obviously, because of what's going on right now in the world. And I just kind of want to talk about it because, a lot of people aren't in a really good place right now, which is understandable, and a lot of us need some escapism, which is why, so many people are on Animal Crossing right now, myself included, because it is very much a great way to get away and escape and not have to worry about the qualms and issues of everything that's going on right now. So I just want to talk about commentary. Excuse me, I want to talk about commentary channels for a moment, because like many of you, I'm assuming, like to watch commentary channels, like to watch a lot of things like that, but there's a really, really big flaw with that, and I'm seeing it more and more now, and it more so proves my theory. Like always, if you guys are new here, hi. I try to make a topic video, art topic, life topic, story time, funny, random thing, at least once a week, definitely on Wednesdays, and I try to sprinkle in extra videos here and there, just as little spices of things when I can, get the little shill out of the way while I cough. But anyway, pretty much what's been happening with a lot of commentary channels lately, and I've talked to my friends about this, there's an issue with, so when I make my videos, and I'm not trying to say this to be like egotistical or condescending or anything, I try my best to try to talk about the topic at hand. I do my best not to mention names directly, not to make videos directly about one specific person and more the specific issue, because I feel like that's much more of a broad term, and you're not giving light to the toxic people out there on the internet, because there is such a thing as any publicity is good publicity, Why is it that you keep seeing, and I will be name dropping people right now because there's no real way around it for this, why you see, oh yeah, Trisha Paytas did something stupid again. Onion Boy did something creepy and illegal again. So-and-so did this. Jeffree Star did that. James Charles did this. Other problematic people here, please, just whatever. And it's one of those things where we see it all the time, and we see it when there's a dip in views, and we see it when there's things like that, because it is easier to find in the algorithm, and it is easier for people to click on it. But then in the same vein, there are people who then go through and they go to these people's channels, and they go and they do watch their stuff. Now, legally, I can't say don't watch these people, because you can get in a lot of trouble for that. But that is a big issue here, is that when these commentary channels, when they're trying to talk about the issue at hand, because like myself, I am a big fan of Ready to Glare, I'm a big fan of Abby Williams, I'm a big fan of Smoky Glow. I don't know why I couldn't think of her name really quick. But, also Unnatural Vegan. I know she isn't exactly, commentary in that sense. She does more, obviously, vegan content because her name's Unnatural Vegan. But when I listen to videos like that and things like that, they have to be very precise. They have to be very this and that. But I feel like a lot of them, while very strongly opinionated, they do tend to have better views than just here's drama and tea of the week. They usually only make videos when it's serious stuff, and a lot of them recently have been putting their foot down on talking about child issues, as in child creators on the platform. And for me, when I say child, I mean anybody under the age of 18 right now. I know it's probably gonna upset some people, but as someone who's 27, that's kind of how I see it. I hate to say it, I know you're a teenager, I know this and that, but you're a minor to me, and there's a lot of other stuff you need to be talking about that's a bigger issue here that isn't getting talked about, like when I talked about family vloggers, and when I talked about other issues here and there, and the big problem is we have those people who do their best to mix up their stuff, do things like that, talk about the issue, try their best to recommend ideas on how to fix it and things like that the best they can, as well as not mention certain people on their channels. And that's something I like a lot about them. But then you have the people who are literally question of the week. You know, they're just scomming. They're combing through Twitter and scouring through Instagram, and they're looking for all this stuff, and everybody's on the race to get the newest video for the newest hot take and the newest thing in there. And then the problem is, you're then getting people, and then they're like, oh, well, that's drama channels, they're not commentary. They're pretty much meshing into the same thing now, especially if it's, you know, constantly a thing. That's why there's a lot of channels that I now no longer support. I won't say which ones, but I don't support them anymore. I know some of my friends still watch them, and I'm like, cool, you do you, but I don't support them. I do not wish ill will on them. I do wish that people are successful, unless you are doing literally illegal stuff and you are hurting other people. Then I think you should be in prison, if that's any indication of what I've been talking about earlier here. But the biggest issue is that there is no camaraderie. Pretty much there's like no... I don't know how to say that. There's no like good side to a lot of it anymore once they get big. And people are like, oh, well, it's like, you know, it's like that saying of you either die the hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And I only say that, and it's a really good quote, but it's like so fucking overused, guys. And I'm really irritated when I see it. It's like, there's certain quotes that I see all the time that, like, it's a good quote, but I see it so much that it just got, like, it lost all the meaning to me. And that's how I see it with a lot of these commentary channels, that they originally start off from a good place, but then they go straight into being a drama channel, you know? And you can pretty much tell the difference. And that being said, call me a hypocrite. Sometimes I do like stupid drama tea to listen to. Sometimes I do. But at the same time, you know, I also know that when... the tea is spilled, or when, so your favorite commentary channel is actually XYZ, and blah, 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 and it's this whole thing where there's no real, like, you get to a point where it's like people are waiting for you to mess up. They're waiting for you to fall from your pedestal. Like, they're bringing you up. It's like that really, really old South Park episode with Britney Spears, where they were bringing her up just to beat her down, and then they, like, went after Miley Cyrus as the judge, because I forget what the episode was called. It's an older episode of South Park, but it was like, that's how I'm seeing it be now, you know? There are people that were so loved in the community, so well, great, could do no wrong, and then, like, one little thing came out from their past, and by this I mean it's not something big. When it's something big, like the Donnie Vadity, the on the dance floor guy again, the Onision shit, like when it's something serious like that, that's completely different than, like, oh my god, when someone was in high school on MySpace years ago, said something really offensive because they were a stupid teenager, or they were a stupid young adult, and that's just how the internet was. It wasn't right. I'm not saying it's right and it's giving them a pass, but, like, when it was over, like, 10 to 15 years ago, and they have shown they've changed, because there are a lot of people who haven't, then I think that's completely different, because the internet was very different now. To me, it's kind of like comparing Shane Dawson's really old, really bad, really edgy comedy that I freaking hated back then to the stuff he makes now. Or same with Anthony Padilla. I love Anthony Padilla's new channel now. I hated Smosh. Back when he was Smosh, I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. Same with, I mean, I don't watch him, no problem with that, but I know, like, the Fred guy, like, he has a YouTube now, and he does, like, normal YouTube stuff. And he even makes fun of the fact that he was Fred, like, years ago, you know? And it's like, that's really different than, again, someone doing that. And it's like, they wait. They wait for their idol to fall from grace, to wag your finger and be like, oh, I knew it. I always knew it. And it's to a point where I sit here and I'm like, is that a good way to live? I'm being honest here. I'm not saying my past is spotless, because it's not. I've done some terrible things. I've said some terrible things in my youth that I do greatly regret now, and I have changed. And when people bring it up, I acknowledge that it was my past. I don't hide it, you know, but I've grown from it and I learned from it because it was a different time. And there were also many times where I'm happy that years ago I wasn't doing YouTube like I am now. I wasn't doing things like I am now because, oh my God, my opinions and thoughts back when I was a young adult, back when I was 18 and 19, were so flawed. I had no idea how the real world worked. And, like, people compare, like, well, I was never like that. No, good for you. That is great. I'm being serious here. I'm not being condescending. That is wonderful that you had the foresight to be that mature. I honestly mean that. It's why when I see people who say that, like, yeah, when I was 18, I was an adult, I'm like, when I was 18, I wasn't an adult. A lot of my early 20s, I wasn't an adult. It wasn't until, I'll be realistic, I know I'm 27 now, but I'll say it wasn't until right around I was like 23, 24, right around there, when my life drastically changed and I got a really wide awakening, you know? So, like, I awakened later than most people did, yeah. But that's something I acknowledge, and some people it's later, some people it's earlier. And most of the time, sadly, it is later. It's also why you see a lot of very proper, successful people who aren't online. This is more in the writer and artist community where they don't really make it big until they're in their 30s or so. And a lot of people think that sucks and that's a terrible thing to do, but sometimes that's what people need to grow. That's what people need to, grow as a person. You should not be the same person you were 10 years ago. There is something very, very wrong if you are that same person you were 10 years ago. You can be similar, you can still be you, but there have to be a lot of things that have changed, and that's something that I don't understand people do. And I can't, with everything else going on right now, I can't spend my time because, again, I was no saint. I thought like this too. There were some people I loved and I remember just thinking to myself, I would never say it publicly or comment it, but I'm like, oh, they got something nasty in the closet. And when it comes out, oh, it's going to be great. And I think about it now and I'm like, that's such an honest to God, gross way of thinking. That you're watching someone you enjoy that's bringing you enjoyment. They're bringing you happiness. They're bringing you entertainment. But in the back of your head, you're just shaking your head and like, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to fall from grace. I can't wait for everybody to see that you're a piece of shit. All that stuff. And you sit here and you're like, that's such a negative, terrible thing to think of now. But in the same boat, that's also not someone blindly following people. I don't believe in stan culture either. I don't believe that people should blindly follow somebody because that's how you get cults. Okay? I think that everybody should, have your own opinion, have your own issues. It's why I also always say, and I always tell people, do your own research, do things like that, do your own due diligence. Don't rely on other people to think for you. You can have people shape your opinion, but if you're really curious about something or you can't believe something, go look it up yourself. And a lot of my friends feel the same way. And it's something that I'm seeing more and more, and I don't want to be a part of it. It's why I don't, like I said, it's why I don't like when I make videos about certain topics or I'm inspired by something. I do my best not to name names. I do my best not to do clickbaity thumbnails. I don't do it because I want the algorithm to ignore it. I do want people to see my content, but I do it because I'd rather talk about the issue than a single trashy person doing a single trashy thing. Because for the one person in the limelight that is doing all of this, there's probably at least 30 or 40 in the shadows that are doing the exact same thing that are not being talked about. And I would rather bring light to the 30 to 40 people in the shadows and help people realize that stuff's going on in their daily life, like me. When I didn't realize I was living with a gaslighter and a compulsive liar, it took people talking about issues for me to see it. Because when you put a face to a condition in the sense of the internet, that's what people see. They're like, oh, that person's crazy. Oh, that person's nuts. Oh my God, something is wrong with this person. This person's a monster. Instead of being like, wait, I know somebody like that. Wait, this is going on to somebody I know. Wait, this isn't normal. Wait, I know people who are like, but people like to personify it and put it in one thing, which is why you see content like that when people use the names and the thumbnails and the views. So there's that. There's my thought, my late night thought. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, as always, to my Patreon patrons. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I try to make videos every Wednesday. And please, the whole spiel. My Linktree link has all my social medias. Follow me there. And as always, guys, I will see you next time. Bye.